All right, well, I'll go ahead and call us to order. Dave, would you give our invocation, please?
Yes, sir. Let's all be thankful together. Dear Lord, we do thank you for a new day, and it's a gift from you. We recognize that. So at the day that you have made, and may we rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for the opportunity to lead and to serve and to be conscious of your wisdom in our lives. We just ask that you be with us as we discuss things. In Christ's name,
Amen. All right, the sole purpose of this called meeting is for action on the resolution 19-2 requesting the FAA to release approximately 2.964 acres in land lots 325 and 326 from federal obligations for the purpose of providing a location for the Chattahoochee Tech Aviation Academy. You have received a prior copy of the resolution. Terry, you have anything you want to say about it?
Let me just briefly make sure everybody's on the same page. We had chosen 3.9 acres just to the east of the terminal building as the desired location for the school. We submitted the package to the FAA, and they have now come back and requested that we find a different location because they consider that spot to still have significant aviation value, which means the ALP calls for a hangar to be located on that spot, plus a tarmac, and it's all part of the terminal area expansion property. And they don't want to give up property at an airport that has aviation value to it. So this 3 acres is where the ARF station, the 911 center, and the fire station that was going to be built in that area at one time was all located on this 3 acres. And the fire station is now being built on the north side of 278. The 911 center is already up and operational over in the New Hope Industrial Park. So we consider this 3 acres to be surplus to any aviation need that we have today. And we hope that the FAA will agree with that assessment, but the only way to find that out for sure is to submit the release request and give them a chance to evaluate it and get back to us. So we've got all of the engineering data ready to go. We've done the appraisal, the phase 1 environmental, the survey plat, the update of the property map, everything that the FAA requires. The Paulding County Board of Commissioners, as co-sponsor, voted last Tuesday on this almost exact resolution, and so they're on board with this change. So since we're co-sponsors, we also have to vote to request this release from the FAA, and so that's the purpose for why we're meeting here today. The reason we wanted to do it as a called meeting is Chattahoochee Tech and the Technical College System of Georgia are trying to move out very fast on design and so forth, and they can't do anything until they know where the building is going to be located. So we're trying to get this done for them, and that's what it's all about.
All right.
I have a question. Terry, I thought that the next plan for that 3.9 acres, your thoughts were put the museum there.
Yes, and the museum would be an aeronautical purpose, so there'd be no issue with locating the museum there. We don't need FAA approval to put them there, so that's easy. That part is easy. The part that is hard is getting the FAA to say that's no longer part of the airport, and that's what they've said they were not willing to do. So the plan would be basically swap the museum, because we were planning to put the museum on this property, but just as a lease. So we wouldn't have to release it for the museum. But because of the gratuities law, the state can't build a building on land they don't own, or it's very difficult for them to. And so for them, it makes sense to get a total release of the property for purposes of the school. So we're really doing a swap, but we need no additional permission for the museum.
And then the hangar would go below the museum.
Which hangar?
Well, you just said something about
The museum's hangar would be on the 3.9
acres.
acres.
Right. Have a hangar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that makes it an aeronautical use. And they've got flying airplanes. They're part of the airport
Okay.
from that standpoint.
Sorry, I didn't understand that.
Harold.
Mr. Chairman, Terry, you said, and we are co-sponsors with the county, you said this was almost exact. to the resolution they passed? What's the difference in the
The
resolution?
difference is theirs says Board of Commissioners, ours says Paulding County Airport Authority. And theirs says that they are authorized to create ordinances. We're not authorized to create ordinances. So ours says we're authorized to pass resolutions related to the airport. Other than that, it's the same plat, the same 3 acres, everything else is the same.
It's just a good reason why we need to drain that swamp in Washington when the state and the local government ask for things and it's stymied by them. Are there any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion on adoption of the resolution.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. And are there any other comments or questions? Any notices? Can't discuss any other business? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and multiple seconds, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you.